Sowore is one of the most serious and the most consistent freedom fighters in Africa today. I'm not even saying Nigeria, I'm saying Africa. I'm telling you, because he speaks for you regardless of who you are, where you're from. Now let's listen to Sowore this interview and then ask yourself seriously, all those your politicians of Igbo extraction especially, how many of them could come out and be dishonest? How many of them have come out and been this truthful consistently? Not be today APC give you something, you go switch, you go do this and that. How many of Nigerian so-called freedom fighters could come out and speak so passionately about Nnamdi Kanu's case, regardless of where you're from? How many of them can do that? How many of the so-called politicians can come out and speak so passionately about the ills done to the Igbo tribe? But many of us there for Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and what's the other, YouTube. Some they make big money, they don't even send. You must fight for freedom wherever you are. Especially you, where be Igbo people, where be Igbo politician, Igbo blogger, Igbo news person. You know one help say the truth. IBB help on talk the truth. Instead of you guys to now celebrate and now come out and fight harder that IBB finally said there's no Igbo coup. Most of you guys are asking, how are we going to share the Ohaneze Ndi Igbo 10 trillion? Now who do us this thing? 10 trillion Ohaneze they ask for Tinubu. You're more worried about how to share the 10 trillion than freeing Nnamdi Kanu, than asking for better treatment of Igbos. So if they give una 10 trillion and keep treating una bad, you guys are good with it? Some of you guys, they piss me off. There's a reason why I chose this background to talk about this. This is what they call the Death Valley in Mexico. In this Death Valley here, a lot of freedom fighters died, and a lot of freedom fighters also survived. People that fought during the Mexican Revolutionary Wars, the War of Independence, now here most of them used to gather. So it was a point of renewal for many people. That's why they call it the Death Valley. Some people thought they would come here and die, but they survived. You understand? A lot of the Mexican tribes were here. The Aztec, the Mayans, the Otomidem, the Totonac, a lot of these other major tribes, the Nahuadem, they all came here and prayed. So against this backdrop, I want us to listen to Sowore's interview. This is freedom fighting in motion. You understand? Mexican freedom fighters all came here too. That's why I chose this background. People like Emiliano Zapata them were here. Huerta them, you know, Carranza them, Villa. All of them came here. Let's hear Sowore.
You know, but you must understand that this is not just about landmark. There's an Igbo problem in Nigeria. That's why they're holding Nnamdi Kanu.
What's your take on
for asking
Nnamdi Kanu's perpetual detention?
And then we are rehabilitating Boko Haram commanders. He said 120,000 of them have surrendered with foreign currency in their hand. And you have rehabilitated them. But one guy who says, we want justice, we don't want to stay in Nigeria, you are holding him perpetually, using the judiciary or judicial, subterfuge to keep the trial. And everybody who knows what they are doing understand that it's not a judicial matter.
So Nnamdi is essentially a political prisoner.
He's a political hostage. Well, I'll call him not a political because he may not, whomever is in power, except me, will keep him in jail.
So do you think that Igbos generally are endangered species in Nigeria? Going back what you just narrated.
The truth, that's the truth. Nigeria did not forgive Igbos since the end of the Civil War.
What did they do?
Because they challenged the real estate of the British called Nigeria. So, and they didn't forgive them since then. So everything has been done after that. We know this is the unspoken truth about the country called Nigeria, that They did not forgive Igbos for the Civil War.
The Igbos
So-
were the victims and they have forgiven the victims.
You are
So why is
preaching-
it difficult
you are
for the
preaching-
victors
You
to...
are preaching to the choir.
And because he had mentioned was that, you know, in an interview was, he had mentioned
I've
that
said
the
it
Igbos
before.
will never be president of Nigeria. That is a perpetual, you know, narration to keep the Igbos the way they are.
Yeah, so no, it's not about even the presidency. If they find an Igbo man that is malleable, that can work in their interest, they can make him president if he doesn't have any power. You can be a
And still
president
don't give him power.
of, you can be a president of Nigeria and not have the powers of the president. When they wanted to destroy the landmark, who was the minister in charge? It's not an Igbo man.
And Moka is Igbo speaking, also fighting.
It's
an Igbo
easier
man.
for them to use an Igbo man to carry out. If it was done by a Yoruba man, the uproar would have been worse. But you find an Igbo minister of works to help you demolish Igbo businessman. You say, can't you see them? So it's easier that way. It's manipulation. It's how Nigeria manipulate people. But I'm not saying that if he was a Yoruba minister, he cannot demolish. They will do it too. It's easy. Anybody could have done it as long as there's an agreement to do it. Because beyond just ethnicity, there's also an elite conspiracy against Nigerian people. So an average poor person is endangered. But you are likely more endangered if you have committed a generational crime against the Nigerian real estate. Owned
By being an Igbo man.
Of course, that's the truth. You know, that's why you were saying, oh, you're Yoruba man. You know, if based on what I say, they even tell me I'm not Yoruba enough. You know, but I'm of mixed heritage. There's a part of me that is Ijo.
Okay.
And we are the Ijo speaking Yorubas. We're the Yoruba speaking Ijos in Ondo State.
Okay.
So they call us Ijo Apoy.
Ilaje area.
No, it's Ilaje, so we're next to Ilaje.
Okay.
But my great grandparents came from Yoruba side of things. But the stream that Sowore is named after is in Ijebu waterside. Because that's how they came. So, but you know, I don't speak to people based on ethnicity. I don't define myself based on my ethnic heritage, even though I do not deny it. But because it underlies our humanity to be assigned an ethnic position before you can be respected. Are you getting my point? Or before your views can carry on, so you have to be a Yoruba man. And then it was, oh,
So we've had
here comes
Rwanda.
one of them.
We've had Rwanda manage the same ethnic issue in their country with the Tutsi thing after years of
Are you
genocide.
sure they managed it?
Well, to
They
a
have
reasonable
to
extent.
manage it through genocide. And Nigeria
After
also,
genocide management.
So this is what you should understand.
Okay.
Nigeria also managed the Igbo problem through genocide. 4 million Igbos. So
Yeah, I was coming to that.
Is that not genocide? But
But
you
how
know,
can we
you know
move
the
past
problem
this?
I have sometimes even with some of our people is that the same people who shot and killed them are more popular in their midst than those who support their rights. The Obasanjos of this world are embraced as authentic people, but these are the people who went and used third commando to massacre Igbos. What did they name this airport after? Murtala Mohammed, one of the most notorious killers of Igbos. Buhari, they kill Igbos. Danjuma, they kill Igbos. Gowon, they kill Igbos. But they even love them more than they love those of us who are fighting. People challenge me that they hate me because I support Nnamdi Kanu, and I say so be it, because I know that I'm supporting justice, and I cannot support injustice because I want political favors from a country. If you want to keep carrying out genocide of political nature or continuation of it, you can go ahead. Keep voting for the criminals who are perpetrating it. Let the forest be voting for the axe because the handle is from one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I said something. I would like you to touch more on it. I mean, the Igbos were the victims. Now they are forgiving the victors. There is no place you don't find the footprints of Igbos across the length and breadth.
That's why I
of
say you
this
are
country.
preaching to the choir. It's not, Igbos are not only in Nigeria, they're all over the world. I went to Alabama in the US, and the only pharmacist there is an Igbo man. Selma, Alabama. You've heard about Selma?
Yeah.
It's one of the homes of the civil rights movement, where they cross that Petra Bridge.
Exactly.
Igbo man is there. Most likely that's what you find in every community in the US. Igbos are distributed all over the world. There's this urban legend that if Igbos cannot live in a place, the place is not livable. There was a time a New York Times reporter came to Gamboru Gala after Boko Haram sacked the place. The only person they found there who was not a Boko Haram member was an Igbo pharmacist. So what are you doing here? He said, well, somebody has to treat them. You know, he was that courageous not to stay there. So I'm saying all these things so that you can understand that I understand probably more consciously better than most people do. And that informs the reason I can speak categorically about the victimization of Igbo. Otherwise, it is a taboo. Politically, it is incorrect to say that Igbos are victimized by an average Nigerian.
Okay. All right. So let's move
because
straight.
Nobody wants to hear the truth. You know, and when you say it, if somebody is watching me and get out of this, Sowore, what's your problem now? Leave these Igbo people alone. You understand? That is the truth. But I cannot, my conscience cannot allow me to accommodate the genocide of 3 million people, or 4 million people, and then the continuation of that denunciation of their existence through persecution, in which the Nigerian state is carrying out, either through Landmark or Nnamdi Kanu, or, you know, look, I told a story, I think it was on a Honest Punch, that in this country, nobody has. There was a time they were beheading Igbos, putting their heads in calabash and putting on the trains going east.
Do you think that that's what's happening in the East right now? Speaking about militarization of the East.
Pogrom, you understand? And that's why they're doing it. It's what they're doing. When we did August, what did we ask for? Demilitarization of the East and release of Nnamdi Kanu was one of our demands. But it was the most denounced demands, even by human rights people. They told us, no, don't include Kanu in your demands. Otherwise, we will not join you. Because Nigeria has been made to believe that a crime committed against Igbo doesn't fall under human rights abuse.
Okay. So let's speak about that crime against Igbo, because a popular, I think I read in your paper recently.
And unfortunately also, the Ohanese people said they should not join the protests, that they are negotiating with Tinubu. They even said that he will release him for Christmas gift, as if he's a Christmas goat.
Oh, that's not true. All right, so speaking about this militarization of the Southeast, recently I read in your platform, a popular media mogul, owner of a media platform in Lagos State, was dehumanized in the Southeast. He was traveling through Anambra State to Asaba Airport, and he was accosted. He and about 3 DSS officials were accosted by military personnel who, you know, dehumanized them, told them to lie on the floor, in fact, told them they were going to shoot at them, told them that they were IPOB. Do you think there has been accusations that most of the people killed in the Southeast in the guise of IPOB are really not IPOB?
Exactly.
That they were killed by military. Do you think that this is exactly what's happening?
These guys are burning down villages, Nigerian army. They are burning down villages. Like, if you are 17 years old in the East, you carry any kind of hairstyle and you run into a military checkpoint, you're automatically targeted. It's profiling.
Oh, wow.
You understand? But go to Katsina. Listen to this before we end this broadcast. The governor in Katsina said a whole local government with tons of bandits have only 5 policemen in their area. They have only 1 vehicle, no military. But there are bandits all over the place. Why is it that banditry and terrorism in the north is treated with kid gloves, and people who are asking for what is recognized by the United Nations as self-governance, the request for self-governance, is treated as a crime against the state? But terrorism is not treated the same way in the East. I traveled in the northern part of Nigeria during the election in 2019 and also in 2023. You can drive all the way from some of the most, you know, bandits havens.
Dangerous points.
Dangerous points. And there will be no policeman or army on the way.
Okay.
But you cannot travel in the East today. Is 1 kilometer, 1 military battalion.
Unfortunately, that is what it is. Before we leave, can I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
You have we have spoken a lot here, and you are more like a repetition of speaking truth to power. Oh, Sowore, do you fear for your life?
It's too late. You know, my life had been taken several times, to the point that all I'm dedicated to is living my life one day at a time.
We4We Media Pinnacle Entertainment. Derema. More fire.